It is medieval Japan and you are born in 1584 in a small village named Miyamoto. Being born in Miyamoto and all, your mom obviously gives you the name Bennosuke. Wait, what? You do not know who your dad is. And unfortunately, you will not know your mom either because she passes away during childbirth. Luckily, she had remarried a guy named Shinmen Munisai and he is going to be your dad. Munisai is like the perfect blend of supremely skilled swordsman and supremely abusive stepfather. You do not really like him and you get into a ton of fights with him until he kicks you out of the house when you are 6 years old. 6. Most kids that age are learning to tie their shoes. You are learning that the world does not care about you and nobody is coming to save you. You go to live with your uncle who is pretty chill because he is a Buddhist. So you live with your uncle for a few years and you are 12 now. And one day you are walking around the town and you see a poster that catches your eye. It is an open challenge for a sword duel from a guy named Arima Kihei. He is looking to test his skill against anyone who is brave enough to face him. Now, most 12-year-olds would see this and think, yeah, I should probably not fight a trained samurai. But you are not most 12-year-olds. You grab a long stick, find him, and tell him you are down to duel. And he accepts. The duel begins and Arima draws his blade. You circle him with your stick and he charges at you. You swing your stick with all your might and you knock his sword to the ground. He looks at you with a mixture of confusion and fear in his eyes. And on instinct, you quickly strike his head and he collapses to the ground. You just won your first duel. Hooray. Oh wait, he is still alive. Alright, that will do it. Now you just won your first duel. Hooray. You are 12 years old and you just killed a grown man. With a stick. Most kids your age are worried about school. You are standing over a corpse wondering what happens next. Dueling is pretty fun. But your uncle does not really like you fighting and wants you to avoid violence and seek enlightenment. Your uncle is cool so you listen to him. For a while. Until this guy named Tadashima Akiyama challenges you to a duel when you are 15. And you go and kill him too. At this point you realize something important. Your life is probably not going to be the one your uncle wished for you. And so you change your name to Miyamoto Musashi and leave his home to go on a quest to become the greatest warrior Japan has ever seen. Puberty is hitting you hard now. You shoot up to 6 feet tall, about a foot taller than almost everyone else around you. You are bigger and stronger than almost everyone you know. And just in time too. Because the 100-year warring states period called the Sengoku Jidai is just about wrapping up. Everyone is choosing sides for the final battle between Tokugawa Ieyasu and Ishida Mitsunari, who is subbing in for Toyotomi Hideori because he is still a kid. You and your stepdad Munisai, who you are kind of cool with now, side with the eventual winner, Tokugawa, and you fight in some minor battles for him. But you completely missed the main event, which was the Battle of Sekigahara. Hundreds of years later, some guy who is writing a book about you will think this is too boring. So he will say that you fought in that big battle for the losing side, which made you a Ronin, a masterless samurai wandering the countryside looking for purpose. And honestly, that makes for a better story. So let us just go with that. You are 17 now. Masterless. Directionless. But extremely dangerous. And you have decided that the best way to figure out who you are is to challenge every famous swordsman in Japan to a duel to the death. Most people go through an identity crisis by writing poetry or getting really into philosophy. You decide to kill your way to enlightenment. Your first major target is a guy named Yoshioka Seijuro. He is the head of the Yoshioka school, one of the most prestigious sword schools in Kyoto. His family has trained samurai for generations. They have a reputation. They have students. They have respect. And you have absolutely none of that. You are a no-name kid from a nowhere village with a wooden sword and an attitude problem. So naturally you challenge him to a duel. Seijuro accepts because refusing would make him look weak. The duel is scheduled for dawn outside the city. You show up late. On purpose. Because you already understand something most samurai do not. The fight does not start when the swords are drawn. The fight starts the moment your opponent starts thinking about you. And if you can make him wait, make him anxious, make him second-guess himself, you have already won. When you finally arrive, Seijuro is furious. He draws his steel katana. You pull out a wooden sword you carved from a boat or on the way there. He charges. You sidestep. One strike. To the head. He drops. You do not even wait to see if he is dead. You just walk away. Because you have other people to fight. But the Yoshioka family is not done with you. Seijuro survives, barely, but he is so humiliated that he shaves his head and becomes a monk. So his younger brother, Yoshioka Denshikairo, challenges you to restore the family honor. You accept. Same strategy. You show up late. He is enraged. You kill him. One strike. This time you make sure he is dead. Now the Yoshioka family is furious. They have lost both their leaders. Their reputation is in ruins, and they want revenge. So they set a trap. They challenge you to one more duel. But this time they are not playing fair. They bring their 12-year-old heir, Yoshioka Matashikiro, as the official challenger. But they also bring dozens of armed samurai, archers, and soldiers. The plan is simple. The kid challenges you. You accept. And the moment you get close, they ambush you and kill you. It is dishonorable. It is disgraceful. But they do not care anymore. You humiliated them. Now they are going to erase you. But you are not stupid. You know this is a trap. So you show up early. For the first time in your life, you show up early. You hide in the trees and watch as they set up their ambush. Dozens of men, all waiting for you. And you think to yourself, if I walk into this, I am dead. So you do not walk into it. You sprint into it. You charge out of the trees with 2 swords, your katana and your wakizashi, before they are ready. You cut down the kid first. 1 strike. Then you start moving. Fast, fluid, unpredictable. You are not trying to fight all of them. You are trying to create chaos. You slash, spin, dodge, and keep moving. They are trying to surround you, but you refuse to stay still long enough to be surrounded. Arrows fly past you. Swords clash. Men scream. And you just keep cutting. By the time it is over, you have killed dozens of them. The rest flee. The Yoshioka school, one of the most prestigious sword schools in Japan, is destroyed. And you walk away covered in blood, breathing hard but alive. You are 21 years old. And you are now the most feared swordsman in Japan. But fear is not enough for you. You want to be the best. So you keep challenging people. You develop your own style. 2 swords. Most samurai use 1. You use 2. A katana in one hand, a wakizashi in the other. People say it is impossible. That no one can master 2 swords at once. You prove them wrong. Over and over again. You fight over 60 duels in your life. You win every single one. But there is one duel that will define you forever. One opponent who will push you further than anyone else. His name is Sasaki Kojiro. And he is everything you are not. Where you are rough, he is refined. Where you are chaotic, he is disciplined. Where you are a wandering Ronin with no school and no master, he is the official sword instructor to the Hosokawa clan, one of the most powerful families in Japan. He is respected, honored, admired, and his sword technique is legendary. He wields a nodachi, an oversized katana, longer than most swords, with a technique he calls the swallow cut, because it is so fast and precise it can cut a bird out of the sky mid-flight. You hear about him. He hears about you. And everyone knows that eventually, you two are going to fight. The question is not if, the question is when. The duel is arranged. The location is Ganryu Island, a small island in the straits between Honshu and Kyushu. Neutral ground. No interference. Just you, him, and the sea. The duel is set for 8 in the morning. Sasaki Kojiro arrives on time. He is calm, focused, ready. He waits, and waits, and waits. You do not show up. Hours pass. Kojiro is meditating on the beach, his sword at his side, completely still. His students and officials from the Hosokawa clan are watching from boats offshore. Everyone is waiting for you. And you are late. Not by accident. By design. You are on a boat carving a wooden sword out of an oar. Again. Because at this point, it is basically your signature move. You are taking your time. Letting Kojiro sit there. Letting the doubt creep in. Letting him wonder if you are even going to show up. And when you finally arrive hours late, you do not apologize. You do not explain. You just step off the boat, wooden sword in hand, and walk toward him. Kojiro stands. He draws his nodachi. The blade gleams in the sunlight. It is beautiful, perfect, legendary. And he looks at you with your wooden stick and says something along the lines of, "You are already dead." You smile. And you say, "You are the one who is dead. You just do not know it yet." The duel begins. Kojiro moves first. His sword flashes through the air with that legendary swallow cut technique, a strike so fast it is almost invisible. But you are faster. You close the distance, ducking under his blade, and swing your wooden sword with everything you have. It connects. With his head. The sound echoes across the island. Kojiro stumbles. Blood pours from his skull. He tries to swing again, but you are already moving. Another strike. He falls. You stand over him, wooden sword raised, and deliver the final blow. Sasaki Kojiro, the greatest swordsman in Japan, is dead. Killed by a man with a wooden stick. You do not celebrate. You do not gloat. You just get back in your boat and leave. Because you already know what everyone else is about to realize. You are not just the best swordsman in Japan. You are untouchable. After the duel with Kojiro you stop fighting. Not because you are afraid, but because there is no one left to fight. You have defeated every major school, every legendary warrior, every challenge Japan could throw at you. You are 30 years old and you have nothing left to prove. So you retire. You wander. You paint. You write. You become a philosopher, an artist, a strategist. You write a book called The Book of Five Rings, where you break down everything you learned about combat, strategy, and life. And it becomes one of the most influential texts on strategy ever written. Centuries later, businessmen will read it. Military leaders will study it. People will analyze every word trying to understand how you saw the world. But here is the thing. You do not write it as a celebration. You write it as a warning. You write about the loneliness of the path you chose. About how every victory is hollow when there is no one left to challenge you. About how strength without purpose is just emptiness. You write about how you spent your entire life perfecting the art of killing, and in the end, it left you alone. You die in 1645 at the age of 61. In a cave. By yourself. You spend your final days writing, meditating, and reflecting on a life spent in combat. No family. No students. No legacy beyond the bodies you left behind and the words you wrote in the dark. History remembers you as Miyamoto Musashi, the greatest swordsman who ever lived. Undefeated. Unstoppable. A legend. But the truth is darker than the legend. You were a kid who was abandoned, abused, and left to survive on your own. You turned that pain into power. You became so good at killing that no one could touch you. But in becoming untouchable, you also became unreachable. You built walls so high that no one could hurt you. But no one could love you either. Your life was a masterpiece of violence. 60 duels. 60 wins. 0 losses. But also 0 connection. 0 peace. 0 rest. You proved you were the best. And the cost was everything else. The last thing you write before you die is this: I have no regrets. But you also write, do not follow my path. And maybe that is the real lesson. That being the most feared, the most dangerous, the most ruthless is not the same as being happy. That you can win every fight and still lose the war for your own soul. That mastery without meaning is just survival. And survival is not the same as living. Miyamoto Musashi. The undefeated Ronin. The legend who killed his way to immortality. The man who had everything except the one thing that mattered. Someone to share it with.